Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Or sworn you left your keys on the counter, only to find them in your coat pocket? We usually brush these off as simple memory lapses. But what if there's something more? What if they're tiny clues that our reality isn't as solid as we think? Today, we're diving into the fascinating, and sometimes unsettling, idea that reality itself might have glitched, and most of us just didn't notice. This isn't just about déjà vu, that eerie feeling you've lived a moment before. We're talking about something bigger, a phenomenon often called the Mandela effect. The name comes from a widespread, yet false, memory of Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s. Thousands, maybe even millions of people vividly remember seeing news reports of his death. But no Mandela was released from prison, became president of South Africa, and lived until 2013. So, how could so many people share the exact same wrong memory? Are they all just mistaken? Or did reality get a little rewritten? Let's look at some other classic examples. How do you spell the popular children's book series about a family of bears? If you said Biarian Stiayon, you're correct according to our current reality. But a huge number of people are absolutely convinced it was always spelled B. They remember the E on the book covers from their childhood. It's not just a vague memory, it's a certainty for them. When they see the correct spelling now, it feels deeply wrong, like looking at an altered photograph of a loved one. And it doesn't stop with bears. Think of the famous line from Star Wars. What does Darth Vader say to Luke after revealing he's his father? Most people will confidently quote, "Luke, I am your father." Go ahead, watch the clip. The actual line is, "No, I am your father." The name Luke is never said in that sentence. For countless movie fans, this is a shock. It's one of the most quoted lines in cinema history, and it's wrong. How can a collective cultural memory be so off base? Or what about the Queen song, "We Are the Champions"? How does it end? Many remember Freddie Mercury belting out a final of the world at the very end, but if you listen to the original studio recording, it just fades out. That triumphant final phrase isn't there. People who remember it are adamant it was, claiming the version we have now must be different. So, what's going on here? The simple, scientific explanation is confabulation. This is a fancy term for our brains creating false memories without any intention to deceive. Our memory isn't a perfect video recorder. It's more like a creative storyteller. It takes bits and pieces of real events, fills in the gaps with what makes sense, and sometimes borrows details from other experiences or suggestions. For example, with Luke, "I am your father," we hear Luke's name mentioned right before and after the line, so our brains logically stitch it in there to make the quote more complete. It's a simple, logical, cognitive shortcut. With the Berenstain Bears, the Stein ending is a much more common German-Jewish suffix than Stein. Think Frankenstein or Einstein. Our brains, being efficient, might just default to the more familiar pattern when recalling the name. It's a plausible theory. It suggests that the Mandela effect is just a massive, shared case of our brains being, well, brains imperfect and prone to error. This theory is neat, clean, and keeps our understanding of reality perfectly intact. But what if it's not that simple? The other explanations are where things get really interesting, and they take us to the edge of science fiction. One of the most popular alternative theories involves parallel universes, or the multiverse. This idea, which is seriously considered in theoretical physics, suggests that our universe is just one of countless others, all existing simultaneously. Each universe could be slightly different. Maybe in one universe, Nelson Mandela did die in the 80s. Maybe in another, it really was the Berenstain Bears. According to this theory, a glitch could be when these parallel realities briefly intersect or merge. Perhaps we, or our consciousness, can sometimes slide between these universes without realizing it. So, the people who remember the Stein spelling aren't misremembering. They're remembering a fact from a different timeline they originated from. They've shifted into this reality, but their memories from the old one remain. It's a mind-bending idea, but it would explain why these memories are so specific and so strongly held by so many different people. They aren't false memories. They're real memories of a different reality. Then there's the simulation theory. This is the idea that our entire reality, everything we see, feel, An experience is actually a highly advanced computer simulation. Sort of like the movie The Matrix. If that were the case, what we call the Mandela effect could simply be a bug in the code, a software update, a patch, or just a small error in the program's data. When the developers of the simulation fix a bug or change a variable, tiny details of the world's history might get altered. The change would be seamless for the simulation, but for the conscious beings inside it, some might retain a residual memory of the old code. So, that missing of the world might not be a memory error, but a trace of a previous version of the song file in our simulated world. It's a bizarre thought, isn't it? To think that our most cherished memories could just be remnants of a cosmic software patch. The simulation theory is impossible to prove or disprove, which makes it both frustrating and endlessly fascinating. It reframes these little glitches, not as human error, but as evidence of the artificial nature of our world. Let's consider another angle. Some people believe these changes are more deliberate. They point to organizations like CERN and its Large Hadron Collider. This massive machine smashes particles together at incredible speeds to study the fundamental building blocks of the universe. Some theorists speculate that in doing so, CERN could be inadvertently tampering with the fabric of space-time, causing these reality shifts. They suggest that every time a major experiment is run, it sends ripples through reality, subtly changing details of our past. There's no scientific evidence for this, of course, but it feeds into a narrative of humanity meddling with forces it doesn't fully understand, with strange and unpredictable consequences. So, where does that leave us? Are we just forgetful creatures living in a solid, singular world? Or are we travelers between universes, or characters in a cosmic computer game, witnessing the system's bugs? The truth is, we don't know. And that's what makes this topic so captivating. The Mandela effect is a perfect crossroads, where psychology, theoretical physics, and conspiracy thinking all meet. The most compelling part isn't any single example, it's the sheer volume and the shared nature of it. It's one thing for one person to misremember something. It's another thing entirely for millions of unconnected people across the globe to share the exact same specific, wrong memory. It challenges our very definition of what is real and what is remembered. Whether you believe it's a trick of the mind or a crack in the cosmos, these glitches invite us to question our own perception. The next time you experience a moment of déjà vu, or find something isn't where you swear you left it, take a second. Don't just dismiss it. Maybe you're just being forgetful. Or maybe, just maybe, you caught a glimpse behind the curtain of reality. Maybe you noticed a glitch that everyone else missed. What do you think? Have you experienced a Mandela effect moment that you just can't explain? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and joining me on this trip down the rabbit hole. If you enjoyed questioning the nature of your reality, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content that makes you think. Until next time, stay curious.